longtime viewer, one of my favorite things that you do on air is you always reference the Timberwolves as your Timberwolves, my Timberwolves. I love that. I'm just curious, what do you expect from them this year, given that Love's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, Rubio might not be back until December or January? Where do you think they're going to finish in the West this year?
Not real high. I love them. I'm going to watch them, but I think Kirilenko and Roy and Ridnour, they need to be not good. They need to be spectacular. Derek Williams needs to be spectacular. He's not shown signs in the preseason that he's going to come out and even be a guy that gives you like 16 points and 8 rebounds. I don't think that's a given for Derek Williams, and him being the second overall pick in last year's draft. Wasn't played that much by Adelman last year. I wanted Adelman to play Derek Williams more, just because once Rubio went down, pull the plug, develop young guys. You're not going to the playoffs. But, I have so much respect for Rick Adelman and trust him so much that I wasn't mad at him, because I just assumed that there just had to be some reason, some tangible on-the-court reason that Derek Williams wasn't playing. Not listening to Adelman, not doing what he wanted to on the court, playing lazy, whatever the case may be. Like, Rick Adelman's one of those guys that I don't second guess. If Bill Parcells came back in, like John Gruden, these guys, Bill Cowher, you don't second guess those guys. Right. They've got the resume, they've got the vibe, the swagger. You just don't second guess them. They make bold moves, and you're like, yo, it looks like crap, but I gotta give it to the guy. Yeah. But I'm digressing, guys. The bottom line is this. I don't think Love is going to miss the 6 to 8. I think it's going to be more like a month. But nevertheless, a month is, 13, 14, 15 games. So let's say the Wolves are 5 and 8, or 5 and 9. That's terrible. It's not a hole you can't dig out of. But what if they're 3 and 13?
Right.
No Rubio. Think about it. Rubio was the difference on the team last year. Rubio and Rick Adelman.
Hey, J.J. Barea looked good last year too, though. Let's not forget.
Yeah. Say that again?
I said J.J. Barea looked real good last year, though. Let's not forget.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, actually, I thought towards the end of the year, man, he was putting up assists. He was putting up, he's putting up like 15, 16 points a game. I thought he looked good.
Well, with all due respect, how many Wolves games did you watch last year?
I would say 20, 25. I'm a league pass guy, and they were one of my favorite teams when Rubio was healthy. So.
All right. Listen, I barely missed a Wolves game last year. I would, if I were working NBATV and having all these other games to cover, I would record it and I'd come back and watch it when I was winding down at 3 in the morning or whatever it was. And Barea he's not a ball stopper. I'm not a fan of his decision making. I'm a fan of his testiness and nastiness and ability to just go on those scoring spurts, you know what I mean? Like, he can go on a personal 8-0 run, that brings the timeout, and maybe you were down 10 and now you're down only 2. I don't dislike J.J. Barea. I don't like his decision making, and I think if you're in a situation where you got to rely on him, you're in trouble. Dallas won the chip with him a few years ago. He was blending in perfectly with Dirk and Jason Terry and Sean Marion and all those guys. But if the Wolves need him to be a 15 to 20 PPG guy, they're in a lot of trouble, man, because he's just too inconsistent. He has those nights where he goes 3 for 15. He'll shoot you in and out of a game. So that's my breakdown on Barea.